curious minds, welcome to ProjexCellence ProDigy, where we make project management simple and exciting. I'm Govind, a PMP certified project manager. And if you are passionate about learning practical project management tips, you are in the right place. Today's topic is project resource management. It involves the efficient and effective use of resources like people, equipment, material, and finances to achieve the project objectives. It ensures that resources are allocated appropriately, utilized optimally, and managed throughout the project life cycle. So there are total 6 processes in project resource management. 2 processes fall in planning process group. 3 processes fall in executing process group, and remaining 1 process falls under monitoring and controlling process group. Plan resource management. In this process, we define how to estimate, acquire, manage, and utilize the physical and team resources. Second one is estimate activity resources. So we estimate team resources and the type and quantities of material, equipment, and supplies which are necessary to perform the project work. Acquire resources. This is the process of obtaining team members, facilities, equipment, materials, supplies, and other resources which are necessary to complete the project work. Develop team. Under this process, we improve the competencies, team member interactions, and the overall team environment to enhance the project performance. Manage team. This is the process of tracking team member performance, providing feedback, resolving issues, and managing team changes to optimize project performance. The last process is control resources. In this process, we ensure that the physical resources which are assigned and allocated to the project are available as planned. We monitor the planned versus actual use of resources and perform the corrective actions if necessary. Let's discuss each process in detail with inputs, tools and techniques and outputs, ITTOs. We will take one project for the reference, installation and commissioning of 20 megawatt solar power plant, and we'll try to relate the processes in its context. So the first process we have here is plan resource management. In this process, we determine the approach and effort which will be required to manage the resources based on the type of project and how complex it is. So the very first and prime input for this process is project charter. We all know that project charter provides high level details about the project, including its objectives, stakeholders, constraints, summary milestones, and pre-approved financial resources. So all these information from project charter will surely influence the resource management of the project. For example, in our solar power plant project, let's say timeline goal is 12 months and budget limit is $15 million mentioned in the project charter. So we have clear references to plan our resources according to these inputs. Next input is project management plan. It's a big document. All the subsidiary plan of project management plan will impact the resource planning. But specifically, if I talk about quality management plan and scope baseline, these both plans will give clear guidelines for plan resource management. Quality management plan will tell us what level of resources will be required for the project to achieve and maintain the defined level of quality. And the scope baseline, it defines the deliverables which will give us the clear picture about types and quantities of resources that will need to be managed. For example, in our project, we have scope like site preparation, panel installation, and grid connection. So based on these activities, we can plan our resources. Next input is project documents. Various key documents like project schedules, requirement documentation, risk register, stakeholder register, these will provide detailed information to plan the resource management process. If we talk about requirement documents, so it will contain the type and number of resources which are needed for the project, and it may influence how should we manage these. Risk register may contain the threats and opportunities that may impact the resource planning. Next input is EF, enterprise environmental factors. EF such as labor laws, market conditions and resource availability will influence the resource planning. Let's suppose local labor law says that one can work maximum 8 hours per day at project site. So, project manager must avoid the law and plan the resources accordingly. OPAs, internal tools, templates and policies can be a crucial input for plan resource management. Historical data from previous solar projects, templates can be used for the resource estimation. Tools and techniques. Various tools and techniques are used to carry out plan resource management process. Expert judgment is one of the common and most useful technique. Solar power plant experts can be engaged in project as consultants so that they can help in defining and plan resource needs effectively. Another tool is data representation. We use various visual techniques to represent the data which assists in planning the resource management like RACI matrix, organizational breakdown structure, WBS, work breakdown structure and resource breakdown structure. Another technique is organizational theory. Organizational theory explains how people, teams and units behave within an organization. If we use this technique effectively, we can save time, cost and effort in creating plan resource management outputs and improve the planning efficiency. Meetings, either face-to-face or remote meetings, whatever possible with project teams, contractors, stakeholders, give a clear and concise information which can be used to refine the resource management approach. Outputs. The first output of this process is resource management plan. This will be the detailed document which will outline how resources will be managed. For example, in our project, let's say under human resources, requirement could be like this. We need 20 technicians for civil and mechanical work, 10 engineers, 5 electricians and so on. Roles and responsibilities will also be defined as engineers will oversee the quality while electricians handle the grid connections. And for the physical resources, it may require total 40,000 solar panels, crane, cables, distribution panels, tools and tackles and so on. Next output of this process is team charter. This document will contain the ground rules for team collaboration. It will include team values, communication guidelines, decision making criteria, conflict resolution process, meeting guidelines and other required details. Project document updates. Few project documents that may need update after carrying out this process. Project schedule may need to update as per resource availability. Risk register may need to update for the risk associated with team and physical resources. New assumptions can be updated regarding the availability, logistic requirements and location of physical resources as well as the skill sets and availability of team resources. Second process is estimate activity resources. In this process, we determine the type, quantity and characteristics of resources which are required for the project, including both human and physical. Inputs for this process are same as previous process. Project management plan And under this, now we have resource management plan, which is the output of previous process, plan resource management. Also, we will refer the scope baseline to get the detailed about project deliverables and requirements. Project documents, we will follow activity list, activity attributes, assumption log, and very important document which is resource calendar, which indicates the availability of personnel and equipments. EEFs, for example, do we have certified and skilled electricians available in the region where our project is being installed, and how is the weather condition will be. This all information will influence the estimate activity process. OPAs, we can refer historical data from a previous project to estimate the resources. Come to the tools and techniques. Expert judgment, we can consult experts to estimate resources accurately. Bottom up estimating, in this technique we estimate the team and physical resources at the activity level and then aggregate them to develop the estimates for work packages, control accounts, and finally for the complete project. Analogous estimating means we can take information regarding resources from a previous similar project for estimating our current project. Parametric estimating, this technique is simple mathematical calculation in which we use statistical relationship or algorithm to estimate the resources. Let's suppose, based on historical data and project parameters, previous 10 megawatt solar project required 20 workers and that time duration was 50 days. So, if we calculate, the installation rate per worker was 10 by 20. So, 0.5 megawatt per worker over 50 days. So, if we use this parametric estimating, so we can use this data. So, now we are installing 20 megawatt solar power plant project. So, for 20 megawatt, we can estimate total number of workers. So, 20 divided by 0.5. So, which will come 40 workers. So, this is how the parametric estimating techniques work. Data analysis. In this technique, the alternative analysis is the most common method in use. We evaluate different options, we compare them and choose the best one. For example, make or buy decision, whether to make, rent or buy the needed resources. PMIS, Project Management Information System. It plays a crucial role in resource management by providing tools and features that help in planning, allocating, tracking and optimizing resources effectively. Meetings. Meetings can be planned with all the stakeholders to refine the resource estimates. Come to the outputs. Outputs of the estimate activity resources process is resource requirement. It will be the detailed documentation of resource types and quantities needed for the each activity. Basis of estimates means how the resource estimates were derived, including assumptions and constraints, what method was used to develop estimates, range of estimates, confidence level of estimate. Resource breakdown structure, RBS, we will get a hierarchical structure categorizing project resources. For example, in our project, under human resources, there may be manager, engineers, electricians, and the other category equipment, cranes, testing tools, excavators. Next output is project document updates. So, various project documents as activity attributes, assumption log and lessons learned register will be updated according to the estimate activity resource process. Next process is acquire resources. In this process, we obtain the people, facilities, equipment, materials and supplies which are needed to complete the project work. This process is performed as needed throughout the project life cycle. So, inputs here are project management plan. Project management plan and its subsidiary plans as resource management plan, procurement management plan and cost baseline will play a key role in providing the inputs for this process. Resource management plan will specify the resource needs, roles, responsibilities and procurement strategies. Procurement management plan will guide how external resources will be acquired and the cost baseline will provide the overall budget for the project activities. According to these, we can acquire our project resources. Project documents. Various project documents like project schedule will help in identifying when resources are needed. Resource calendars will show availability of resources. Resource requirements will list specific resource needs, quantity, types. Stakeholder register will reflect who can influence the resource acquisition. And other inputs are EEFs and OPAs. Come to the tools and techniques for this process. So, decision making. Techniques like multi-criteria decision analysis is used to evaluate the resources based on various factors like cost, availability, experience and skills. The criteria are weighted based on their importance and the values can be compared for different resource types to ensure the best fit for the project. Interpersonal and team skills. This technique helps engaging with functional managers, vendors or other stakeholders to secure the resources. Pre-assignment. Sometimes specific resources may be pre-assigned to the project based on agreements or prior commitments. It occurs when specific physical or team resources are chosen for a project in advance. Normally, this happens during develop project charter process or earlier stages before finalizing the resource management plan. Virtual teams. In some cases where physical co-location is not feasible, teams may operate virtually. This involves specific communication and coordination tools. Outputs. Output of this process are physical resource assignments. We will have detailed document of resources assigned to this project. Project team assignments, which will list out team members and their roles and responsibilities. Resource calendars, it will reflect the availability of resources for the project. Change requests, if resource acquisition causes deviations from the plan, so change request may be raised. Project management plan updates, it may happen we need to update the resource management plan, means the acquisition strategies based on the result of acquire resource process. We may have to adjust the cost baseline if resources cost changes. Project documents like project schedule, resource breakdown structure, risk register, stakeholder register may need to update to reflect the acquired resources. Lessons learned register will be updated with information on challenges encountered and how they could have been avoided, as well as approaches that worked well for acquiring resources. So, this all will be updated in the lessons learned register for the future projects. EEFs update. Let's say if certain skilled workers were unavailable, it might affect future hiring strategies. So, we have to update the EEF of resource market conditions. Or if let's say certain equipment or material was delayed, so the vendor database might be updated with supplier performance records. OPAs updates. OPAs update will be happened if any changes were taken place in hiring policies. Lessons learned register will be updated with acquisition challenges faced during the process. Next process is develop team. This process focuses on enhancing skills, teamwork, and the overall team environment to improve the project performance. This process is carried out throughout the project. So inputs here are project management plan and its subsidiary resource management plan will provide the guidelines on team development and training. Project documents like lessons learned register, project schedule, project team assignments, team charter will be referred for this developed team process. EEFs like organizational culture and structure, geographical distribution of team members are studied for the developed team process. Organizational process assets, training materials and policies, historical data and lessons learned will provide inputs for this developed team process. Come to the tools and techniques. Co-location. Co-location means, if possible, placing the team members in the same physical location to improve their communication and collaboration. Virtual teams. If project is such that team is geographically dispersed, in that case, proper technology need to be used for communication and collaboration. Communication technology like video conferencing, different collaboration platforms, messaging apps like WhatsApp, these all are used to facilitate interactions among team. Interpersonal and team skills. Techniques like conflict management, negotiation, motivational techniques, and team building exercises are used for developing team processes. Recognition and rewards. Acknowledging and incentivizing individual or team accomplishment to boost the morale and productivity. Training. Provide training to the team members with the skills they need for the project success. Individual and team assessment. Team members' strengths, weaknesses are evaluated as individual and as a team. Based on the assessment result, performance improvement measures can be taken. Meetings, regular checks, status update, and brainstorming sessions are conducted to improve the coordination. Come to the process outputs. So here we are getting team performance assessment. By using all the inputs and applying the required tools and techniques, the project management team makes formal or informal assessments of the project team's effectiveness. So these effective team development strategies and activities are expected to increase the team's performance, which increases the likelihood of meeting project objectives. Change requests. Change requests are initiated if team development activities require changes in resources or schedules. Project management plan updates means we must update the resource management plan to reflect changes in team management strategies. Project document updates. Documents such as lessons learned register, project schedule, team charter, project team assignments, resource calendars may need to update as a result of developed team process. EEF update means organizational environment and work culture update. OPA updates, lessons learned from team development process, updates to the training materials and skill inventory and motivation strategies. Next process is manage team. This is the process of tracking team member performance, providing feedback, resolving issues, and managing team changes to optimize the project performance. So inputs are project management plan, specifically the resource management plan, which guides how the team members will be managed and supported throughout the project. Project documents, again like issue log, can be referred, which tracks issues that may impact the team performance or morale. Lessons learned register, project team assignments, team charter, these all project documents give inputs to manage team process. Another input is work performance reports. It provides performance data to assess individual and team effectiveness. The information from performance report and related forecast assist in determining future team resource requirements, recognition and rewards, and updates to the resource management plan. Next input is team performance assessment. This is the evaluation of team performance to identify areas of improvement. This document can be referred to carry out managed resource process. EEFs like organizational culture, structure and resources available for team management. Also the geographic distribution of team members. OPAs, policies and procedures for performance evaluation and templates for managing team issues. Come to the tools and techniques. So interpersonal and team skills. Various techniques are used like conflict management, which resolves disputes to maintain the team harmony. Emotional intelligence, very powerful tool, which enhances communication and collaboration by understanding the team members' emotions. Influencing, persuading team members or stakeholders to act in the best interest of the project. Leadership, servant leadership, inspiring and guiding the team to achieve the project goals. Project Management Information System PMIS, which analyze team performance, manage schedules and update the team related data. Come to the outputs. Change requests. Change requests are initiated to address the team related issues like reallocating resources or adjusting the schedules. Project management plan updates. Resource management plan and schedule baseline will be updated with changes to the team management strategies. Project document updates. Issue log will be updated with newly identified or resolved issues. Lessons learned register, project team assignments, team charter and work performance reports. All these project documents will be updated as a result of carrying out managed team process. And EEF updates. The last process is control resources. This process ensures that physical resources which are assigned to the project are available as planned. It involves monitoring resource utilization, comparing planned versus actual use, and taking corrective actions when needed. This process is performed throughout the project. Inputs of this process are project management plan and its subsidiary resource management plan, which provides information on resource allocation, monitoring and control. Project documents like issue log, lessons learned register, physical resource assignments, project schedule, resource breakdown structure, resource requirements and risk registers are referred to carry out this control resources process. Work performance data. It provides raw data on resource utilization, which include quantities used and performance metrics. Agreements, contracts or service level agreements with vendors or suppliers regarding resource delivery and availability. These all are referred to carry out this control resources process. OPAs, as organizations policies regarding resource control and assignment can be referred. Lessons learned repository from previous similar projects are referred for this control resources process. Come to the tools and techniques. Various data analysis techniques are used like alternative analysis, which identifies alternatives for resource allocation or usage when issues arise. Performance reviews, it compares planned versus actual resource utilization. Trend analysis, it predicts future resource performance based on the historical data. Another tool is problem solving. Problem solving techniques identifies and resolve issues which affect the resource availability or performance. And how it works? First step, identify the problem, and the second, define the problem, break it into the smaller manageable problems, and third step is investigation, collect the data. Fourth step, is to analyze the data, find the root cause of the problem. Fifth step is solving. Choose the suitable solution from a variety of available ones. And the final step is checking the solution. We have to determine if the problem has been fixed. Interpersonal and team skills like negotiation, which resolves resource conflicts with suppliers, vendors, or team members. Project management information system to track, monitor, and report on resource utilization and performance. Outputs, work performance information. It analyzes and presents resource utilization and performance data in a usable format. Change requests. Change requests are proposed to resolve resource related issues like reallocating resources or modifying schedules. Project management plan updates. Resource management plan, schedule baseline and cost baseline are revised based on the resources availability. Project document updates. Various project document updates will be done like assumption log. It will be updated if assumptions about resource availability change. Issue log. It records the new or resolved resources related issues. Lessons learned register. It will document insights from resource monitoring for future projects. Physical resource assignment, adjustments made based on the actual usage. Risk register, updated with new risk or changes to existing risk related to the resources. We have reached the end of this episode and we have successfully covered another milestone in our project management journey, focusing on project resource management. Before we wrap up, I'd like to kindly ask for your support. If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe to the channel. Your engagement truly means a lot to me. Namaste, goodbye, Sampai Jumpa.